ballpark figure. That's ridiculous. That's a high-end sports car you fucked up there, pal. Didn't you hear? The entire body's gonna have to be redone just to make it look half decent. You sure know an awful lot about car repairs, don't you? Tell me about witness statements. Somebody witnessed Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene just after the crime. I heard about that. The waiter. Masaru Kinoshita. The prints outlined in red match Akechi's. This is apparently the evidence that led directly to his arrest. What about the other fingerprints? Well, one thing's for sure. None of them match the prints of any of the other employees at Cafe Helps at the time. Tell me about the person seen fleeing the scene. I don't know anything about that. I left the cafe before Yuichi did, so I don't know how he left. Okay, so she left when it started. Weren't there... Of course not. I mean, why would I? I was still working, wasn't I? What? He's acting kind of funny. Let's see. What to ask. Do you know anything about the person seen running from the scene of the crime?
Yeah?
No, I don't know anything. I only found out a murder had taken place when Kinoshita-san showed up looking as white as a sheet. I didn't see the murder at all. I see. Oh, but I did see Oda-san's body. Ugh, I can still see it. Ugh. Sawase went to the locker room after the murderer escaped. Huh. Do you know anybody with a motive to kill Oda? Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, it was bad enough he was always messing around at the workplace, but going after another employee's woman? Get a grip. You make it sound like he slept with another woman at the cafe before.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw him hook up with another woman there once. Another woman. Got a name for her? Yeah, I think her last name was, Saito? I guess she was dating Oda-san at the time of the murder. I don't see anybody named Saito listed among the people related to the case. She already quit the cafe by that time. I heard she was still, hung around Oda-san, though. So Oda was dating somebody at the time. I feel like this guy's being a little weird about it, though. Your fingerprints weren't found on the murder weapon. Isn't that strange, seeing as you were one of the waiters? I just didn't like doing the ashtrays. I always left that to other people. So it's pretty natural my fingerprints wouldn't be on it, I guess. Let me see. Now we asked her questions. This job is pretty boring, so thanks for helping me kill some time. You can ask me more whenever you want. I see. Are you sure there isn't anything else you want to tell me? What do you mean? It's not like I have anything to hide. Honestly, sounds like he knows more. I just don't have enough information right now to get it out of him. I should talk to him again when I know more. So where do I go now? I need to go back to Cafe Alps, which is just down this way. I'm gonna try and get by this. Don't. No. Yeah. Get off me, man. I'm tired of this. I've got things to do, and you're not on my list. Yeah. Out of the way, people. I got a murder to solve. Move it. Alright. You're Konoshita-san, right? That's right. Who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. I want to ask you about the murder that happened at this cafe 6 years ago. Oh, that. Well, I don't know if I can tell you anything new, but go ahead. Let's see. To ask. Where were you and what were you doing when Oda was killed? I was here, in the customer area, cleaning up. I believe you can see me on the security camera tapes. I wasn't in the locker room when the murder took place. They say that you saw Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene the night of the crime. Tell me more about that. Yes, I saw him. That night, Akechi-kun disappeared right in the middle of the cleanup. I waited a while, and when he still didn't come back, I went to check on him. That's when I saw him leaving through the back door of the cafe. Are you sure it was Akechi? Well, I only saw his back, but I'm sure it was him. If you didn't see his face, then how can you be sure it was Akechi? The man I saw leave through the back door was wearing our cafe's waiter uniform. Aside from Oda-san, there were only 3 other male employees working that night. Akechi-kun, a guy named Asi-kun, and me. You can see Asi-kun spending the night closing the register on the security tapes. The only person I could have seen who would have been Akechi. I see. After that, I called the police and waited at the back door until they showed up. No one tried to enter or leave during that time. So Kinoshita didn't see the criminal's face. Wait, which one did I just do? I think it was statement. Did Oda have any enemies? Well, I'm not sure. I didn't really talk to him much outside of work. I see. Were your prints on the murder weapon? No, they weren't. I keep thinking that if I had touched that ashtray that day, I would have been blamed for the murder. I guess that's everything. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Thanks for your time. Are you a detective, Kiryu-san? Not exactly. Why do you ask? No reason. I was just wondering why anyone would be looking into that case now. I'm trying to help a friend out. I'm trying to help a friend out. If Yuichi Akechi is innocent. Innocent? You think someone else could have been the murderer? It's possible. I see. I would feel terrible for Akechi-kun if he really was innocent all this time. I can't imagine what it's like to be in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Especially for 6 years. That can be horrible. That's why I'm trying to find out the truth. If you think of anything else, let me know. Okay, I will. Now where do I go? Looks like I'm going to Club Sega Theater Square. Man, they always have side quests in games like these where you're like, alright, go to one side of the map and then go back to that other side. There was a guy right there you could have talked to, but no, you gotta do it in this way. Let's make you play the game more. Obviously what I'm getting from this is that I'm guessing someone stole an outfit. And yeah, someone stole an outfit, obviously had worn gloves, and must have murdered the guy. And tried to frame a Akechi. But, and it might be that Icy, I don't know how to say his damn name, it might be him. Because he's acting real weird. But I gotta get more evidence first. Let's go figure this out. You there. Here's what to ask. So that was pretty boring, so they're telling me to kill time, I see. By the way, do you remember Amagawa? Amagawa? Sounds familiar. Your co-worker from Cafe Alps. Oh, Mr. Gloomy? Yeah, I remember him now. Amagawa says he had things stolen from his locker. Do you know anything about that, Icy?
Not it?
What? You think I had something to do with it? Do I say yes or no? I'll just say no. No. I'm just trying to find out what you know. I think if I did say yes, it'd be like I'm jumping onto him and that'll scare him off. But you really think I did it, though, don't you? Okay, you got me. I did do it. What? I was just trying to make a quick buck or two. All I took was a wallet and some CDs I sold off later. Anything else? Huh? Like what? You didn't steal Imagawa's uniform? Yeah. Uniform? How would I make any money off that? All I stole was his wallet and CDs, that's all. So that's all I took, huh? Maybe the police really did take the uniform. Yeah. Okay, I've talked to everybody related to the case, but it doesn't look like it's going to be easy to prove Yuichi Akechi's innocence. I should meet up with Wakazu at the Cafe Alps. I think a cutscene's gonna play out. Usually a cutscene does play when we have the marker. I also forgot something I should do. Like, once I walked back into Club Sega, I was like, oh right, the claw machine in that new game. Funny seeing you here. What's up? I'm taking one of my clients out on the town. We were in the area, so I thought I'd drop in and see you. Taking your client out of town. Don't you mean you're going to one of the host clubs? My client just happens to like host clubs, really. It's just a coincidence. Speaking of which, isn't your perfume a bit strong tonight? Oh, really? I didn't think so, but... Oh, look at the time. Okay, I've gotta go. Adioko. Who is that woman talking to Kinoshita? That's Kinoshida's wife, Yoko-san. Kinoshida's wife? How do you know that? She actually used to work here. That's how I know her. She worked here. Is that so? That's right. She'd already quit by the time the murder happened. And she wasn't on the security tapes of the dining area. She definitely wasn't at the cafe that day. I see. It doesn't sound like Kinoshida's wife, Yuko, is involved in the case. Then maybe I should look into her anyway. Hey, wait, the exit's not this way. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I know where to go now. Can't just walk around without you getting in my damn way. You saw me desperately cling onto the wall. No. Oh, thank God he missed. What? Why? Why do they always do this to me, man? Yeah, you better pay me back with some healing items. Let's head on into Stardust. Is that... That looks like Kinoshida's wife, Yoko.
Kitty-san!
Oh, Kitty-san. What brings you here? Yuya, what can you tell me about that woman over there? Who? You mean Yoko-san? She's been a regular customer of ours for years. What do you want with her? She looks awfully rich for somebody so young.
Oh,
She manages a venture-funded startup. Her company got popular making products targeted at young women, and it's been growing pretty fast over the last 4 to 5 years. Is that so? Oh, Yuya. Who is that? I haven't seen him here before. Is he a new host? Yoko-san. This is Kiryu-san. We owe a lot to this man here, and no, he is not a host. Oh, I see. Well, that's unfortunate. This is my company, by the way. If you ever need anything, just give me a call. Sure. Bye now. Tonight was fantastic. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again. I've collected all the information I can right now. I should go back and see Detective Mata. Let's get moving. Work. No, come on! Why you stupid... those glasses don't do anything for you because you can't even see where you're going. You can't see a man's trying to get by you? Dang, man. I got places to be here. Now bring it on! Wow, man. I was already getting away from there. I can definitely see myself on Legend difficulty always needing my inventory filled with the good old stamina royales. Whoa! Come, that's it. It ends like this. Foul ball. Ah, like I want a nail. Move it, people. Move! Gotta get back over to Bantam. Nope, I still don't see anything off about any of this. Do you have a minute? Oh, it's you. So, did you find any proof of Akechi's innocence yet? What was that you were looking at? Oh, this? This is the list of evidence we made during the investigation 6 years ago. You're taking such a hard look at this case, I thought I'd better take another look myself. Can I see that? I guess, but you won't find anything wrong with any of it. I honestly can't figure out why you think Akechi is innocent. Wait a minute. What's this? What's what? I finally got it. Was it really this simple all along? No mistake about it. Somebody framed Akechi.
Nani?
What? Are you serious? Yeah. I'll explain everything. But first, I need you to round up everybody related to the case. But it'll turn out fine. You'll see. Okay. Just don't blame me if it doesn't. I'll get everybody together at Cafe Alps. That ought to work, right? Yeah, that's fine. I've got all the evidence I need. It's time to reveal what really happened 6 years ago. I'm liking this sub-story. I like doing this little detective work. It's kind of making me wish even more that the Crossbell games for The Legend of Heroes would actually get English translated. Well, I mean, there's fan translations, but like, come on, let's get it official. I want to play the games. Well, I did as you asked, Detective. I closed the cafe and kicked everyone out. Now what's all this about? Kiryu-san, his friend here would like to talk to all of you. I have you here for one reason, and one reason alone. I'm sure you all remember the murder that took place here 6 years ago. The victim was Kazuo Odo-san, the manager of this cafe at the time. One of the employees, Yuichi Akechi-san, was arrested for his murder. But did Akechi-san really kill Oda-san? I'd like to ask each of you to think back on that day. Do any of you have any evidence, any truly conclusive evidence, that Akechi-san was really the one who killed Oda-san? I've been struggling with one question since the day of that murder. Could Akechi-san actually be innocent? But before I could find out for sure, an article I wrote implicating Akechi-san as the murderer got published. But thanks to Kiryu-san here, we finally arrived at the truth of what happened 6 years ago. But if Akechi-kun is innocent, that means someone else is guilty. Exactly. But what do you base all this on, Kiryu-san? I need to show them proof of Yuichi Akechi's innocence. What should I give? Yuzume was the one who saw Akechi and Oda fight the day of the murder, isn't that right? Yeah, but they left in the middle of it. In other words, she didn't actually see Akechi-san kill Oda-san. Exactly. And only Izumi saw Oda and Akechi fighting. So we can't conclude Yuji Akechi killed Oda, which means the charges against him could be false. Sorry, but that doesn't hold water. What do you mean? Akechi's prints were on the murder weapon used to kill Oda. That's solid evidence to prove Akechi did it. Is that all you have to say? Huh? What do you mean? This was your case. You want to know Akechi's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone weren't enough to convince him. I don't follow you. Spell it out for us, will you? There's evidence I should show them now. Ashtray fingerprints. The ashtray used as the murder weapon hadn't been washed because it was supposed to be thrown away. Akechi's prints weren't the only ones on it. That means you can't prove his guilt from the fingerprints alone. Detective, is that true? Yes. It's just as he says. So you admit it might not have been my brother. Yeah. But that's still not enough to prove somebody else did it. Somebody witnessed Akechi fleeing the scene. That's another piece of solid evidence. Think about it. You'd think the person actively fleeing the scene of the crime is the culprit, wouldn't you? Why'd they run away if they didn't do anything? What do you have to say about that? Kiryu-san, do you have any information to refute the witness statements about Akechi-san? Let's see. There was a hole in one of the witnesses' statements. I just need to argue that angle. Kinoshita, you saw Akechi fleeing the scene, right? Yes, I did. Are you sure? I'm not lying. I'm sure I saw him. But you didn't see the face of the person fleeing the scene. You said that, right? Yeah. I only saw his back. So then it's possible you saw somebody else. Is that all you got? The police wouldn't have arrested Akechi on just any old vague evidence, you know. There was also something that proved the person Kinoshita saw was in fact Akechi. And what was that? The man Kinoshita saw leaving the scene of the crime was wearing a Cafe Alps waiter uniform. The only waiters employed by Cafe Alps at the time were Kinoshita-san, Asi-san, Imagawa-san, and Akechi-san. The security tapes show Kinoshita-san and Asi-san out in front at the time of the murder. We've also confirmed that Imagawa-san was at home. Therefore, by process of elimination, the only way we would have seen was Akechi. Kiryu-san, is that true? No, it's absolutely possible that the person Kinoshita saw was not Akechi. I have a statement to prove it. Well then, why don't you share this statement with us? I have a statement that proves the person seen leaving the Cafe Alps might not have been Akechi. I need to present this now. There was actually another crime committed at this cafe the day of the murder 6 years ago. Another crime? That's the first I've heard of it. Imagawa's uniform disappeared from his locker in Cafe Alps' locker room on that day. Imagawa's uniform? Yes, my uniform disappeared from my locker. Since you weren't present the day of the murder, when did you notice it was missing? The day after Oda-san was murdered. I came to work. The police were investigating, so I couldn't go in. But once the police left, I looked in my locker and saw that my uniform was gone. Come on. The police probably took it as evidence. I'm sure there was plenty of stuff missing from the crime scene. You're wrong. Someone was definitely harassing me. Everyone teased me. Azi-kun, why don't you tell them you took my uniform? You took everything else. The uniform must have been you. Yeah, the uniform must have been you too. You're so whiny. Bully, police, whoever took it. It has nothing to do with Akechi or the case. No. Imagawa's uniform is the key to this case. Huh? What do you mean? I'll show you right now. I can show them 2 pieces of evidence that proves what happened to Imagawa's uniform. And the other piece of evidence is Look at the list of evidence I borrowed from you. There's no waiter's uniform on it. Let's see. You're right. I don't see any waiter's uniform listed. In other words, the uniform disappeared from before the police showed up. If the police didn't confiscate it, who would have taken it? It was Isaac-kun, right? No, not Icy.